Hey everybody, it's Emily, the Crazy Worm Lady. I'm here today to start a new bin with the thought process of the carbon only bin, just like we are doing with our African night crawlers. But these are European night crawlers, and this is kind of a side bin that I do not do updates on. Shockingly, despite all of my systems, I also have some hidden ones. So I figured, why not try the European night crawlers up against the African night crawlers? So the surface of this is dry because I leave the lid off because my European night crawlers are climbers. But just like the African night crawler bin, this has got a good deal of castings already. But I'm not going to sift this stuff out. It really doesn't matter. Because I'm not doing this super scientific. I'm just doing it more to see which worms thrive more in the conditions of carbon and no food. So I do feed this bin relatively frequently, and I think I might have fed down here a week or two ago. So we'll see. Let's find out. Yep, I did. Banana peel. There's actually an orange down here. Let me see if I can get it in the camera view better. It's a whole orange. And if you can see, the worms haven't completely moved in, but there's quite a few of them hanging out down here in the corner. And I don't think this bin has quite as many worms as my African nightcrawler bin, but it still has a pretty good number of worms. Probably, I don't know, a pound or two. Maybe like a pound and a half, actually. But that's completely eyeballing it. It could be closer to 2. But this material is a hair dry in places. I am going to move this to their new bin, let them finish it up, just like I did with the African night crawlers. And we will just follow this for probably about the same duration that we do our African night crawlers and see what happens. So I'm gonna dump these guys into the new bin. I'm using the same size bin as with the African night crawlers. We'll probably add some moisture, some bedding, and get this party started. So let me go grab all of that, and I'll be back with you in a minute. Apparently tea bags do not break down. Disappointing. I do find it fascinating how many little babies are on here, though. Look at all these little guys. You can barely see them, they're so tiny down here. This might have to go over to the new bin as well so I don't miss any of them. Okay, enough rambling. I do see a good deal of cocoons as I'm moving these guys in. This one's getting close to hatching. Typical European nightcrawler behavior. Just add these guys to the new bin and they're already climbing. They do not like being disturbed. So I added the entire contents of that bin in here. And we have quite a good deal of finished castings, quite a good deal of cocoons, and the worms all do look very healthy. So I'm going to take this banana peel and put it down here. I want to say the orange was down here. Yeah, so this will be the food they're gonna finish up, but I want to make sure that's buried because I've been battling fruit flies and I feel like I'm finally starting to make some headway. So I definitely don't want to encourage them to move in. So that's all buried up, and I brought a container of shredded cardboard, and that is dry, but I'm gonna wet this down in a minute. And again, I'm not looking to do this scientific, just to see which worms seem to process bedding faster and proliferate in this type of environment. Do they look healthy, that type of thing. So it doesn't have to be like, you know, one versus the other, just my own curiosity. I want to see how they do. And I'm mixing the castings in with this a little bit just because the cardboard will dry out. And so I need some castings around it to help hold in the moisture. And I'm going to cover it with some weed cloth, just like I did the first one, landscape fabric, weed cloth, whatever you call it, because it breathes and it helps hold in the moisture. So these castings were much drier than my African night crawlers, so I actually have some water here, and I'm going to just kind of dump this around, and then I'm going to mix it in with my hands just to make sure we have a decent moisture content in here. And I might have to add some more. I won't do all of that on camera and bore you guys to death, but I probably will add a little bit more. So I'm going to get a little bit more moisture in here, mix this all in again, and I'll come back to wrap it up with you guys. Alright, so moisture is good in here. I'm going to add a little bit of eggshell for grit. And again, I'm just going to kind of hand mix this in. It doesn't have to be mixed in perfectly, but just so that they do have a grit source for their gizzard. And it will work its way in, and they can come up and get it if they want it. Okay. So I got my landscape fabric. I'm just going to loosely fit around here, like just like with the Africans. It will help hold in the moisture, but still breathe, so that the castings on the top won't dry out quite so much. And since I leave the lids off of these bins, that's important. So I'm going to leave this for another week, so let me know what you think. Drop those comments below, like this video, subscribe if you'd like some more content from me, and I think I'm going to be running these bins, you know, similarly, and I probably will upload these videos going forward on the same day of the week so that you guys can kind of see how it's going in one bin versus the other. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.